Blog Talk Radio.
John. Here, you've earned this. Sure you wrote it big enough?
Yes, old King George should be able to see that.
When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, a decent respect requires that they declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. To secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. And whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to establish new government. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, do, and with the authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved of all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is, and ought to be, totally dissolved. In the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
All right, everybody, George McKesson podcasting here. Restoring our republic and understanding the times that we live in today. Oh boy, I couldn't believe it. The news stories that are coming out now, they're just dogging our vets. The organizations that pay for homeless vets, they help them out. You know, the ones that are struggling or they lost their homes or what have you, or just getting on their feet, and they have organizations out there that help them, and they help them get in these hotels to get them on their feet for whatever reason it may be, or just getting out of the hospital or surgery or what have you. They pay $88 for their room for 30 days at these hotels. Well, those hotels are no longer available because the government has stepped in, and they're going to pay $200 a day for illegal immigrants to be bussed up there and stay at these upper state hotels that I know of as of right now. The ones I've confirmed are in New York State. But there's many more across the country. And there's other things going on, too. They're getting a $2,500 Visa debit card. Some of these illegals, the ones that, especially the ones with kids. There's all kinds of incentives programs that the DHS is giving them. So they're working. So Biden administration is working. What they're doing is they're taking the buses, they're driving over to the Mexican side, loading up the buses of illegal immigrants, and then driving off into the sunset in America, courtesy of your government. And of course, while they're on the bus, I'm sure they're all getting lectured in Spanish because that's prominent prominent language in our country today, and being told, okay, you're going to get $2,500, everybody. Okay, here's free Taco Bell card too. You get that for your entire lifetime in the United States, even when you go back and come back and go back and come back. Even if you go to prison, you should get this card. Okay, then we got the Rivera family here. You've got 2 plane tickets here. You're going to be going to LAX, and you get to pick your destination where you want to go, and wherever you go, here's a hotel voucher here for 30 days. Yeah. You think it's funny? That's exactly what's happening. Exactly. And you, Mr. Smith, John Q, Mr. and Mrs. America, you are not allowed to have guns anymore, and you're late on your taxes. Jail! Off to the jail for you. Fine. Confiscate their property. Yep. Work 50 years, don't care. That's right, because you are the enemy now, you see, because now we don't have a government that's for the people, by the people. Now we have a government that is for the banking cartels and the destruction of this country. If ever a time you should be upset and angry at what you're hearing and what you're seeing, it is now. It is now. This isn't one law they passed that's pissing you off now. This is an entire network of another people. This is the replacement of you in America. The replacement of you. And they don't even have to fire a shot. They're doing it with a credit card. They're doing it with the money that the Federal Reserve prints because of your promised labor. Does it feel good to wake up tomorrow morning to go to work in your metal coffin? Does it feel good, people? Huh? What do you think? Make sure you pay your taxes. Make sure you pay your credit card bill on time. You don't want to ruin your good name. We got to have good credit. I used to always tell people, I hope my credit rating is 0. So when they call me, I could tell them where to go, how to get there, and the quickest way to get there. Because you know what? I pay cash for everything, and I don't even like paying cash. I'd rather use what the Constitution requires me to use, something that's backed by gold and silver. But I have to use these Federal Reserve notes, even though most places don't even know what the hell a Federal Reserve note is, because we demonstrated that on this show. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to call these hotels up right now, and, of course, we'll do it in a very I'm not going to call them up and say, no, because we're not going to get nowhere like that. We're going to expose them. Let's see if these news stories are true. Well, I have some illegal immigrants here that have vouchers, and we're going to see if they got rooms available there for them, and make sure that and then we'll see. I heard there's some veterans taking up those rooms, and we'll see if let's see. Let's get them to eat it right here live on the air. Let's see. So let's give them a call and find out exactly what's going on here, if these news reports are true, which I just can't see that they're lying. And I got a backup phone here just in case they play this answering service crap, and Blog Talk tries to not let me get through. I got a backup phone, so that will be on speakerphone. So I'm prepared here. I've got the numbers all lined up. I'll punch them in and see what the hell's going on here with this crap. This is a crime if this is true. And I hope it's not. I hope it's not true. I really hope it's not true. Let's see here.
Welcome to the Hampton by Hilton, where you can depend on friendly service and comfortable surroundings every time. That is our commitment and your guarantee. For reservations, press 1. For the sales office, press 2. All other callers, please stay on the line.
You are being transferred to the operator.
Thank you for calling Middletown Hampton Inn. This is Natalie speaking. How can I help you?
Yes, Natalie. How you doing tonight? I need a couple rooms. Do you have any rooms available there? And I was just wondering, what payment, how I pay. Do you have any rooms available right now?
For tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Or tomorrow morning.
All right. So if it was for tonight, all I have right now are 2 queen beds or a 1 king bed suite. The 2 queen beds are $149 before tax with a $50 incidental hold.
Okay. Now these rooms are for. I have 2 families here that are going to they're coming up from Texas down there. Now the city's going to be paying for the vouchers. With the vouchers, and how does that work?
What kind of vouchers?
Well, the city for the families that are coming up from the border.
Oh no, we're not accepting any reservations from that.
No, you're not accepting no more reservations for that.
No, we're not.
So even with the city voucher.
No, like we're not in cooperation with that at all.
Oh, you're not in cooperation with that at all. Okay.
No.
All right, I was just making sure. All right, well that's good. That's good. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate your time, then.
No problem. Have a great night.
Okay. All right, folks. Well, they're not in cooperation with that. So there you go. There's one news report right there debunked. So let's see here. But she said not in cooperation with that. So that's got me a little bit worried. Let's call this other hotel here that I have here. And this is another one that they listed. They said it was a Super 8. Okay. And then I'll read the article to you that I read it from, that I got it from, where I'm getting these from. Okay, so let's see. So there's one right there. She said they're not in cooperation with that. Now, she sounded pretty real. I mean, you know, when I came back and said, well, from the city, the voucher from the city, when she hesitated, I said, oh, I got her. And then nope, she stuck to her script. So, but I think she was genuine. So that's good news. That's good. So let's try the super. Let's see here. This one was quoted in the article. This is the one in East Middletown, New York, and this is a Super 8. So let's give them a call, and hopefully this is not true. And this and I'm going to find out who printed that article, and we're going to go after them because I want to know because that's bad. That's bad to get Americans up in arms. But I'm going to read that article to you. And they quoted that hotel. I could be wrong, so we're going to call this one too. So here we go. Here 3622. Just give me a minute here. Got to punch in these numbers. It's hard to do with everything and switching over screens. And all right, here we go. Let's see here 765. Let's see, make sure that's the right number. All right, here we go.
Thank you for calling Super 8 by Wyndham, Middletown. To make a new reservation, please press 1. To modify an existing reservation or to speak to the front desk, please press 2. To make a new reservation, please press 1. To modify an existing reservation or to speak to the front desk, please press 2. To make a new reservation, please press 1. To modify an existing reservation or to speak to the front desk, please press 2.
3622. Right. Good.
This call may be recorded or monitored for quality assurance purposes.
Thank you for calling Reservations. This is Rosa Maria. How may I help you?
How you doing? I got a question for you. I need a couple rooms, and I was just wondering if you guys are in cooperation with the city for the vouchers. I have a couple families that I need to have booked up for rooms, but I got vouchers from the city. So do you have any rooms available, and are you on that program?
Great. More than happy to help you with that. What program is it you said?
Well, the city's going to pay for up to $150 at a room prices for two. I got two families here. I'm part of a nonprofit organization helping the border crisis down there out of Texas. So I was just wondering if you guys are going to accept the city voucher.
More than happy to help you with that. Can I have your name, please?
Okay, my name's Bob. But I want to know how much are the rooms first?
Sure, more than happy to assist you. And hi, Bob. How are you doing today?
Doing all right.
Awesome, great. Glad to hear that you're doing fine. Thank you for calling in. Pleasure to assist. Bob, I'm going to check with my colleague in regards to the voucher. I'm going to have to put you on a 1 to 2 minute hold to confirm that. Please hold on the line for me, okay?
Okay. All right, no problem.
Thank you.
All right, so we got one that's working with the program. So there is a program there. All right. Watch what I get on this one here. Watch this when I watch the questions I ask this one. Watch this. You're gonna love this, everybody. Oh. They got some good music down there playing, huh? From the border. Sounds like some fiesta. Come on, lady. Don't keep me on hold here forever. Or I'll have to call back. You see, I didn't go in depth, but let me read the article here while we got it up here, while they got me on hold. Just now I'll call back, because I think there's something I'm supposed to say when I ask.
Ready.
Oh, hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. Can I have the days that you'd like to stay, please?
Well, it's going to be, like I said, it's going to pay for up to $150 per night for the room, but I just want to know how much the rooms are first. Are you guys going to cover the whole voucher? I mean, there might have to be out-of-pocket cash. That's what I'm trying to wonder. But also, I want to make sure that I understand that you had to make room. I know there's some media reports also. You had to make room for us too. So I want to make sure that the families are not going to be harassed in any type of way.
Oh, the thing is, it has to be confirmed by the manager for the voucher. So that's why I was asking on the days.
No, I understand that. But I just want to make sure. Like I said, I understand that this is creating media attention also, and I know you had to make room. You had to have some families that they're claiming were vets and whatnot. They had to remove them out for us to come in. So I just want to make sure that my families aren't going to be harassed when they go there. Is everything okay? You guys got security and everything set up?
All right. To confirm that, let me get you connected to my colleague. She'll be able to provide you with those details. Because
all right.
I have her on the hold. Your name once more?
Well, my name's irrelevant. I'm just trying to get information before we book the rooms. I mean, can you give me the information or not?
No, we won't be able to book without the manager confirming the voucher.
Okay. I'll provide you with the vouchers and everything and the information off the vouchers. But I need to know how much they are for. I just want to know how much you're going to be charging us first. That's all. That's what they told me to ask.
Yes, we're going to get you those details.
All right.
But we want to tell you when to call in. I wanted your name just for conversational purposes. Is there any other reservations I can help you with before I get you connected?
No. It's just these two families. But if you'd like, we can come down. I mean, when we come in, we could come in there and just check in at the desk if that's what you need me to do instead of doing it over the phone if you don't feel comfortable doing that.
No, that's fine. We're comfortable. We're okay. I just asked the question in regards to the voucher, if it's allowed, and to confirm we have to.
It is. But one more thing though, do you like the Hampton Inn? They don't have any rooms available. They only had one with a queen bed. I mean, how do you guys still have rooms available, or do we have to? I mean, that's what I don't think. How many rooms do you have available? Because I need 2 right now.
You want it for tonight? That's what I wanted to know.
No, for tomorrow. It would be for tomorrow. It would be for tomorrow morning. I'm sorry.
Okay, good. So let me get you connected to my colleague. She'll tell you what to do in regards to the vouchers and also the prices as well, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Please hold.
All right, everybody. Okay, let's just disconnect there. Okay, so the voucher program, so that's it. That's legitimate. So there's obviously vouchers. The manager handles that. So that's true. Now, let me read the article to you because I got another hotel here that actually booted out 20 vets. I was trying to get her to admit that they got rid of the veterans. I was trying to get it, but she wasn't biting. So, and they're probably told not to discuss any information. For security reasons over the telephone, she wanted those numbers off that voucher, which I don't have because I don't have any vouchers. So, but there's a PIN number they have to give, and so this is the quick article right here. I mean, this is absolutely disgusting. What's going on? I had it up here. The article actually. Here it is right here. It says, this is what it says right here. Okay, this is just terrible. It's just terrible. This is terrible. And actually, that first hotel I called, they may not have been sponsoring the program because the article does not stay out. I'll read the article and you can decipher for yourself. America's homeless veterans are booted from upstate New York hotel to make room for bus load of migrants. as Mayor Eric Adams attempts to elevate pressure on the Big Apple. So that's it said dozens of homeless veterans have been kicked out of their upstate New York hotels to make room for an influx of migrants fueled by the expiration of immigration restriction order Title 42. The struggling veterans were only informed at the start of the week that they would be making way for the migrants, a nonprofit veterans organization told the New York Post. Sharon Tony Finch, who runs the Yurik Israel Tony Foundation, helping the homeless individuals, said the hotels decided to kick out the vets due to what's going on with the immigrants. You see, it says the hotels, so that's why it has to be one of those hotels I called, okay, because one of them is not cooperating, obviously, all right? And this is what it says down there. But the move came at a cost for the homeless veterans living in the hotels intended for the migrants, leading Tony Finch, a disabled military veteran, to voice her anguish at seeing the situation unfold. One of the vets called me on Sunday, she said. He told me he had to leave because the hotel said the extended stay is not available. Then I got another call. Tony Finch said she was left in tears after seeing the veterans swiftly kicked out of the hotels despite being promised temporary housing for a month. We didn't waste any time, she said, of her efforts, revealing the vets still had 2 weeks left of their stay before they were carelessly ejected. Of the 20 veterans being kicked from the hotel, she claims 15 had been booted from the Crossroads Hotel in Newburgh, Orange County. Okay. The 5, okay, so that was had been 15 been booted from the Crossroads Hotel. Okay, and I have their phone number. Okay, the Crossroads. All right. The 5 others were removed from the Super 8. That's the one I just got on the phone with, Super 8. And then it says, and Hampton Inn Suites in the Middletown, roughly 70 miles north of Manhattan. Now, the Hampton Inn is not participating in that program, at least the one in Newburgh. So that could be that's false reporting right there. That's something they need to correct because that gives them a bad name, the Hampton Inn. All right. All 20 of the displaced ex-military members have been moved to a separate hotel in Hudson Valley. But Tony Finch said the ordeal has been heartbreaking for the struggling veterans. Now we have to work from ground zero, she added. We just lost that trust. Mayor Adams' office did not immediately respond when contacted for comment. Of course he didn't. So what do you think, everybody out there? I mean, what do you think? I mean, so it's confirmed that the city has vouchers that pay these hotels for people to stay there. Okay. People don't want to leave me alone. I'm not telling them I'm doing my show, and they still want to bang on my door. All right. Anyway, unbelievable. All right. Anyway, all right. So this hotel here is, which one did I say? The one that they kicked out the other vets there, the Crossroads Hotel. Crossroads. No, that's one I thought. That Crossroads in Newburgh had 15 books from. See, that's bad. That's false reporting. It wasn't the Crossroads Hotel. Maybe it was Crossroads Hotel. Okay, it was the Crossroads. All right, see, you get them mixed up because they're all franchised in with each other. They all got 18 hotels with the same name, but they're not owned by the same people. They just buy the name and use it. It's all bullshit. This is another corporatizing America. Nobody could call their business their name because we got to shop at Walmart because Walmart's got the best stuff, the cheapest stuff, and that shovel that'll break as soon as you stick it in the ground because that's what we like, Americans, because we like being screwed over, right? I mean, come on, man. This is just crazy. All right. Anyway, the Crossroads Hotel. That's the one in Manhattan. All right. Anyway, anybody want to chip in and talk about this? This is just absolutely disgusting. I mean, you can call in 657-330-616. I just cannot. I mean, Sarge, if you're out there, did you ever think that the hotels of this country would do this to our veterans? That they would book illegal immigrants. I mean, and give these people debit cards, $2,500 debit cards. They're shipping them across the country. I mean, tomorrow I'm going to be calling DHS on the radio show, and I'm going to be calling the National Guard. I'm going to be calling the National Guard to find out what the hell's going on. Why are they not guarding our border? I mean, they're assisting these people over the border, assisting them. Crossroads Hotel phone number. Yeah, Hampton was not doing this. Yeah, I know. That's what it says. I know. It says the Crossroads Hotel. Was that a question you're asking me, American Statesman? Crossroads Hotel. The one I spoke to that is participating in this program is the Super 8 Hotel. in Newburgh, New York. Super 8. They are participating in this. Yeah, you're right. We should call these hotels and with our disgust and complain. You're absolutely correct. It's disgusting. It's pitiful. And this is a disgrace. And if any Americans out there, you're traveling, and I stayed at the Hampton Inn last year, actually. I stayed there. Now, they're saying now the Hampton Inn, all right, here we go. We got a caller here who wants to jump in here. That's great, good. Take some stress off of me. I'm losing my voice already. Got me all hyped up. Go ahead, private. Go ahead. 407. Go ahead.
Hey, Joe. This is Sally.
Good,
yeah,
good.
I'll tell you.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm totally disgusted with what these people are doing. We all need to make sure we call every representative or whoever, just if nothing else, just to be annoying to them. And then also call these hotels and say how anti-American you are, the nerve of you to kick out the veterans for the illegals who don't even belong here.
Well, the number that I called,
totally disgusting.
The number to the hotel that is cooperating with this program is 845-765-3622. That's the Super 8 motel. They are cooperating with this program. They're getting paid vouchers from the city. That's why, see, they wanted that voucher number. You see, they were very skeptical about. They didn't want to turn me away because they know that's big bucks. Because the cities are paying up to $200 and $150 more per room to get these veterans out of there, so they can get these illegal immigrants in there. Imagine that. The city is paying this money out of the tax bracket money or tax money that municipality has to fund this, because they're getting kicked back from the federal government. This is crazy.
It's crazy in every way. And where does the Catholic Charities play into all this, too? Because those Catholic Charities, they're the ones, I guess, that have the vouchers to go and do all this stuff, whatever else.
I'll get to the bottom of that. Yeah, I'm going to get to the bottom of that and call them. I mean, we all need to do this. I mean, really, that's what we need to do. And you made a key point there in the chat room. We should be calling these people, blowing up their phone first thing tomorrow, and just calling them. Don't threaten them. Don't do something stupid out there, people. Don't threaten nobody, because that's not going to get you anywhere. But call them and blow up their phone lines and ask them, what right do they have to do this to our veterans? Our veterans. We care so much about our veterans, and this is what our government is doing. Our government doesn't care about our veterans, and doesn't our veterans always say that? Right? The government doesn't care about us. The wars were all a fraud. The Gulf War, Vietnam War, right? I mean, I mean, do they always tell us that? But we shout them down. Oh, no, how dare you speak out against the war, right? Oh, man.
Exactly. It's insane. We have to tie up their phones, totally hose up their phones so they can't get anything else done, and then let them know, you're a bunch of traitors. For you to go out there and throw out the veterans for the likes of the illegals who don't even belong in this country, who should be being deported. You're disgusting. You're anti-American and you're disgusting. And then whatever you do, I mean, when it comes to Super 8s and kind of like what you're talking about on these hotels chains anyway, a lot of them are franchises. If this is a franchise location or if this is a corporate location, which, believe it or not, that does make a difference in reference to these kind of things.
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't. They're a location that's participating.
No, but I'm saying the corporations are probably the ones. Corporate locations are probably the ones that are participating in it, not the franchises. But more importantly, don't go to those hotels. Make sure you check and see if they're a corporate location who is promoting all this garbage. Don't go to those hotels. Leave them.
And I'll put it out there right now. This hotel's address is 563 Route 211, East Middleton, New York, 10940. That's the motel that's participating in this voucher program. And they wanted, and she wanted that voucher because if there was no voucher program, she would have said, "What are you talking about, sir?" Right? I mean, right?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So that's how we know it's true.
I mean, I would just go there. I mean, myself, I would just go and just say, I heard something about you're taking the illegals and putting out. I mean, I would just ask the question outright. And of course, I don't know what kind of.
Well, they'll never admit to it. They never admit to it. No.
So,
I mean, she would never. Exactly. That's why I was trying to trick her into saying it.
Yeah. Well, and I need to go and do a lookup on the articles because I didn't see the actual reports. I just heard something about it, so I need to go.
Yeah, I'll post in the chat room the link to the first article that I read on it, and because it's. I mean, I'm like mind boggled by this. Actually, when I'm reading it, and I'm just thinking to myself, I can't believe this. I just can't believe this. We're doing this to our veterans? How? How? I mean, why?
If they do this, people have to understand that these people involved, this truly is a communist takeover of this country. People at some point, even if you're not too swift out there, whether you're a Democrat or whatever party, there are true Democrats who think they're Americans and don't understand all this insanity going on. They truly think it's the corporations that are the bad guys routine, whatever. The Kennedy Democrats, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
But we've got to call it up and say, okay, and if you have the report, the article, hey, I just heard this. Is this really true? This is what you guys, is it true you guys have done this? And again, that's not to get into any big fight, but to express, oh, that's so sad that you would actually treat American veterans this way while you're supporting these illegals who are going to bankrupt and destroy our country. So it's very, really disgusting. And obviously, I'll never be in your hotel, and I'm not going to support any other Super 8 hotel. I won't go to any of them. I'm going to do what I can to protect them.
I know, but you know what? Walmart and places like that, when you tell them that, they don't care because you're just another customer. You really are. They just don't care.
By one they don't. It's volume. It's got to be volume that does it. When just like for the most part, if I would have called and said, "Oh, I'm not drinking any more Budweiser garbage, or whatever," which I don't drink it anyway. So, but if you say just one person says it, doesn't mean anything. But when it actually hits the market and people reject it, then it has effect. And we have to appreciate that. That really does make a difference.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to report, though, on another issue, though, the super flood of crowdfunding effort for Daniel Penny in New York, the Marine rifleman that was arrested for chokeholding the mental criminal that was punching people and calling and begging for, ordering people donate money to him. He was pacing up and down the subway and trying to intimidate women, and this veteran stepped in and grabbed him and choked him, and I guess he died. Maybe he did use a little too much force. I don't know. I wasn't in that situation. He could have been fighting back. He could have died instantly, the guy. We weren't there. But the fact of the matter is that guy stood up for his fellow Americans. But you know the message that sends now? That to everyone, don't get involved. Don't get involved, otherwise you're going to go to jail.
Exactly. On that case there, they had two other people apparently who were also helping to restrain this guy. So obviously he was a little bit out of control. But it's in defense of others, the Good Samaritan in defense of others. There's something very seriously wrong when you're going to charge the person with murder who stopped somebody else from murdering something. It's all sick. This is what happens when your culture is totally taken over by an evil influence like these Marxists.
Well, you talked about DeSantis on your show, and I forgot to bring that up actually. DeSantis, his state is so tyrannical. Do you realize that down there you can't even use your First Amendment and protest without getting $1 million bond through an insurance company? Who's going to insure you for a protest? And then you'll be arrested? I mean, DeSantis is a tyrannical tyrant, and no way would I ever support him for president.
No, he did some good things, and there's definitely been some things that have been good with the COVID and all this other stuff. So I give him credit for what he has done good, but he's playing a whole other game, and just the fact that he would align himself with the Bushes, with Dominion, with Karl Rove, and the establishment, it's like, you're showing your true colors, guy. You're showing your true colors. I mean, you're out there. People were believing that you actually believed in America, but you're no better than the Democrats. You're really you're just another flavor of them, another version of them.
Yeah.
So it's been really sad. It's been disgusting to me as a Floridian because I thought he did.
I think Sarge is on the line here. I think Sarge is on here too. Maybe let's hope because I get bombarded with trolls. But Sarge, is that you?
Well, if you want me to be a troll, I'll try to be one, but
thank God.
I don't think you're into that too much. At least not. You don't expect it from me anyway. How you doing, Sally? How's that going out there?
Oh, it's going good. I saw you out there listening tonight too, so you didn't chime in.
I was exercising and whatnot, so I really couldn't get in like I wanted to. But you said everything needed to be said, so there wasn't no need for me to pipe up. But, when you were just talking about this former Marine and this impending persecution by Fat Alvin Bragg, I mean, we've got to keep calling this what it is. We are living in certain regions in a state of anarcho-tyranny. These people in the government who either allow or encourage anarchy, chaos, and lawlessness by not doing their job of restoring and maintaining order. And when we, the people, defend ourselves against it, they prosecute us. I mean, we've got the McCluskeys in St. Louis. We got Kyle Rittenhouse in Kenosha. We got George Zimmerman in Florida. We got example after example of people who lawfully defend themselves against the kind of thug that these people keep letting back out on the streets, despite records that are as long as the Bible.
Well, Sarge, did you hear the conversation?
Yeah,
when people step up
and do what they got to do to protect themselves, they get persecuted. Remember the case of this guy down in Texas who killed a couple of illegal aliens on his property? Apparently in self-defense, but he got arrested for doing it. I still don't know what happened to this guy. That's another example. It's all over the place.
It is. It is. Sarge, did you just hear me call the hotels that were kicking out the veterans and putting and oh, you missed it then. You missed it. Great. Sarge, you missed a good one then. I called the hotels that were kicking out the veterans and housing the illegal immigrants. And they're getting vouchers for up to $200 plus more to house the illegal immigrants, and then kick out the vouchers veterans that are supposed to stay there for a month that are only able to pay $88 a month. So they're kicking out the veterans, 20 veterans already, kicked them out on the street, and to make room for the illegal immigrants. And I called them to reserve a room, and they were getting ready. They wanted my voucher and everything, but they openly basically admitted it, that the program is there and it's true.
Well, all veterans did was defend their country. They got a new bunch of dance partners to do the okie doke with.
Yeah, we got a wonderful person in the chat room. He says, well, you panicky Pete's are all the same. The sky is falling. The government is so bad. Dummies, brown people living up the place. You whites are boring.
Guys like that, you know why guys like that say what they're saying? Because they know we're over the target, so all they got to do is throw up aimless flak. They don't have enough radar to guide it properly. They're just throwing up flak. They're trying to throw us off the target. We know what time it is. We give specifics as to what we're talking about. We don't just aim empty slogans and bumper sticker sayings all over the place. We tell you exactly what they're doing. We tell you about a president of the United States who is literally manufacturing law with no legislative authority from Congress to give Social Security numbers, taxpayer numbers, and work permits to illegal aliens. That is tyranny, because he is assuming arbitrarily powers not granted to him by the Constitution or the Congress of the United States. That is the definition of tyranny. That's not an exaggeration. It is. Yeah. And we keep giving these people examples. See, people like this want this state of affairs to continue. They don't want us to point this out.
Why do they want America destroyed?
To continue so this country can be fundamentally transformed. That's what they hope to see. A fundamental transformation of this country away from free market economics, liberty, the constitutional rule of law, republicanism, and into some sort of global economic, World Economic Forum, socialism, and neo-Marxism. That's what people like him, I am sure, want to see.
Don't they understand they want this country to end up like Venezuela? Don't they understand that they want to pay $10 a gallon for milk? Don't they understand that's what they're doing?
Want. They think that's a good thing. That way everybody's equally miserable. I mean, they want the misery to be spread equally. They don't want some people to be more prosperous than others. They actually think that's a good thing when we live in a kind of state of degradation like the old Soviet Union.
Yeah. Do you realize, folks, what that is? Do you understand what communists, and you understand Stalin, the tyranny, the ruthlessness, the killing, the murder that will happen? Do you understand? Do you want to go to prison and live in horrible conditions?
They were told that was just the wrong people doing it. This bunch of people are going to get it right this time. You got to understand. You got to understand the boundless, almost childlike belief these people have in a tyranny of socialism and Marxism. It's
like
almost
the reparations.
Childlike. It
like the reparations.
It's almost like a religious faith because it's completely devoid of any information or evidence that it works anywhere. But they still believe they can do it this time. We'll be the ones who make it work this time.
Sarge, remember the show the other night I was on where they honestly believe they're going to get $1.2 million in reparations. They honestly believe they're going to get that.
And Gavin Newsom just told them that they're not. That's what leftists do all the time. They use, particularly black people, which irritates the hell out of me, they use black people as stalking horses for Marxism.
Yeah, I got 2, 3, 4 here.
And to their eternal detriment, black people fall for it. Oh, this time they're going to give us what we need. They're going to give us our reparations. No, they're not. They're using you. And this is as obvious as should be the nose on your faces, seeing what Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, just got through saying.
Yep, they don't believe. But here's 234. Let's see who this is. 234. Go ahead.
The preparations for reparations are going to be disastrous situations, says Tave A. Stanley.
Well, 234. You just missed it. You just missed me calling the hotels up there in New York that are kicking out veterans and housing illegal immigrants with the voucher program from the city. We confirmed it. It's true. That's what they're doing. And one hotel denied it. They said, no, we're not participating in the program. But the next hotel, Super 8, I called, they're participating in the program, and they kicked out veterans and got the rooms ready. They got them all ready. They were ready. They wanted me to book the rooms ready to go for me as long as I got my voucher ready to go there from the federal government and in the city to house illegal immigrants.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's sad.
Well, I tell you what, I don't know if you noticed it or not, but I watched these town hall meetings up in Chicago when they were explaining to them why they got illegal aliens that are being billeted in police stations now and in places all throughout the city. And the residents in there, the black residents of these areas where this is being done, are raising vociferous objections to it. I mean, they are hopping mad. And the city officials are trying to mollify them with soothing words and blandishments and telling them how it's a humanitarian crisis that must be responded to instantly. And I'm telling you, if you want to get a bunch of black folks mad, especially Democrat, leftist, liberal black people, you want to get them mad, you just try to make them believe that black people are not the most historically oppressed, marginalized, and exploited people that have ever lived in the history of mankind, especially American black people. You better not even try to intimate anything to the contrary, because that'll get them out of their nests.
Well,
that'll get them mad into hell. I can't think of anything that I've ever argued about with my fellow black people as to whether or not black people are the most marginalized, oppressed people that have ever lived. That ain't nothing I know of that gets them madder than that if you don't say that they are.
Yeah, it did hit them up. But the American Statesman...
And this is what you call intersectionalism gone wild. To some extent, the argument that these poor, huddled masses yearning to be free, coming through the border, are now worthy of protection and sanctuary. And you say that, especially when their prerogatives are going to be impinged upon. Oh, Lord have mercy. Watch out. You might get them to vote Republican. Who knows?
Well, I doubt it, but... hang on. The American Statesman gave me this idea tonight when she was on her show. Actually, she said, these people need to be phone called, and that's what I'm going to do. And tomorrow night, I'm going to call DHS down at the border and the National Guard units around this country and ask them, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are they assisting Mexican Army officials and the Mexican Immigration Department loading up immigrants on buses and then assisting them to be shipped over into America? Why are they assisting that? Why are they assisting a crime at our border?
You know what I found out? They're actually not even, some of them, I mean not all of them, but some of them are actually getting on airplanes across the Mexican border and being flown into the cities where they, instead of going through our ports of entry or however they were going to cross, getting caught, they're actually loading them up on planes and directly flying them over the border and then into a city.
Yep. That's absolutely true.
Are you kidding me? Well,
they can't do it with everybody. That's why, though. They can't do it with 50,000 people. They can only do it with a couple thousand, because there's not that many aircraft, obviously. But yeah, that's what they're doing, man.
And how about the cartel situation where you got is it true? I thought I caught the tail end of it where they're actually, the cartel are having the people that are supposed to be paying them to traffic them across. So they were going to pay a coyote or whatever. Now they're just snatching up kids, and they're telling the kids' parents, "Go get a car. Go steal you a car right now. Drive it into a crowd. Drive it."
That's a true story. That's confirmed. Yep.
What in the hell is going on? We're not have to worry about Putin and that little fruit that dances around and plays the piano with his pecker.
Well, that's what they're doing. Now imagine, Cave, some people show up at your house, Suburbans, they have pictures of your wife or your kids with guns to their head saying, watch, we're going to slit your son's throat. Watch, go ahead, slit it. Whack. Okay, now the rest of your family's going to get it if you don't go shoot up a mall or something. What are you doing? Yeah. That's what they're doing.
It's
Man.
What the hell?
I mean,
well, Joe,
crazy.
You asked the question just a moment ago. Why are National Guardsmen assisting, in a patently unconstitutional and illegal violation of our national sovereignty by the president, their commander-in-chief?
Yep.
Why are they doing that? And I understand fully your outrage over it because it is. It's clearly an patently unconstitutionally and illegal act. Now, whether or not you're going to expect specialist fourth or private first class to understand that as being a patently illegal order, I think is a bit much to expect. I would like to see soldiers disobey such orders, but I really can't expect that they should because I don't think it quite falls in the category of a patently illegal order to a private first class in the Army or the National Guard. So I'm going to give them a little slack on that. I do think the officers ought to know better, though. The officers, at certainly company grade, above company grade, ought to know that it is. And they are cooperating and violating our national sovereignty and their oath of office by this tyrannical, illegal, illegitimate president.
Why don't the uppers, the generals and whatnot, why haven't they come together and said, listen, this treasonous bastard's done. We are going to take back the government and because we have that power. They do.
Well, I don't know if I want to see the Army do that. I prefer the citizenry do it, actually, than the military engage in a coup. But the military does not have to obey patently illegal and unconstitutional orders. That's already been well established. They can stay in the barracks while the citizens fight it out.
That's fine. Sign me up. Put me on the first bus down there. But I would think that the generals or whatnot, to have the behind-the-scenes talk is either one of two things. They're either talking about what color dresses they're going to buy, or they're really talking about ousting this bastard, because it's got to be one or the other.
Yeah, I understand how you feel, but I don't know if I want to see the military engaging in coups. I just don't know if that's a good thing.
Yeah, I do think that could be bad.
Take back your government, yes. For the citizenry, yes. The state, yes.
The war manual shows you that, when they talk about the laws of war, I think it's Section 13 or maybe it's 11-3. When you get into reading that, and they talk about the takeover of an entity that's a foreign adversary has taken control of our White House and our government. Why haven't they brought up the Law of War Manual? And there's a process for this. Trump went through it and updated it in 2016. Now, and then it got thrown in a I must have been one of the books you check out at the bookmobile that comes to your school or something. They throw it back in the back of the bus and they leave it there and you don't see it again. I ain't heard not one word about it. But if that's the case, and they now have actual proof from these banks that Biden is single-handedly himself involved with 12 different banks and 9 different members of his family with evidence showing it, why are they not saying he is a communist traitor and go get him?
Well, I guess I don't want to be an apologist for the armed forces, but look, we got a Department of Justice. They're supposed to be doing that job. That's why we got a Department of Justice. Now, I know it is corrupt. I know it's not worth a damn. But the thing we also have, in addition to having a Department of Justice, we got a Congress of the United States and a House of Representatives. And the House of Representatives, as imperfect as it may be, is doing a fine job of at least exposing part of this massive corruption. We citizens have got the message. We know what needs to be done. We know that this government needs to be overhauled and or removed by whatever means necessary. We know this. We've got the evidence in front of us, and we've got to get that Department of Justice off its behind, do what it's got to do, or if it just refuses to do what it's supposed to do, then we have to do what we have to do under the Constitution to bypass it.
Well, I'm telling you right now, I've heard a lot more people speak, just like you're saying, Sarge, about as far as they're now they're waking up, but they've overslept their alarm clock. They hit the snooze button too many times, and it's so overwhelming now that I think They're waking up. Is it two? Are we in 2 more years of this shit? Are we even going to be able to do anything? Because there's so many.
No.
Hey, look, I'm not going to argue with you on that. I understand how you feel. I don't know if this republic is going to survive 2 more years of this administration.
I got 2 minutes here. I got a 2 minute here clip of somebody confronting the National Guard actually, and their reaction and how they act when they're confronted. It's actually pathetic. I'll play that here real quick. It's only about 2 minutes long, but this is the reaction, and I expect to get this reaction tomorrow when I call too. So we'll play this one right here real quick.
Slow down or prevent illegal moving. You guys are facilitating open border patrol. Your job is to follow orders from the governor of Texas, the governor of it, which you guys aren't doing. And I know what the orders were put forth. I know what orders were put out by the governor. Who is your chief? He is the chief. The commander-in-chief.
Real quiet.
But you guys don't understand, because you guys are in full active duty, like tell us what an order is. When the chief commander-in-chief
we're all pieces of shit.
No, I'm not negative.
Listen, man, I'm not in the fucking mood, so you should just stop me back up.
No, partner. What you need to do is follow the orders the governor sets forth. That's what you need to do, because that's your job as Texas National Guard.
You're not wearing a uniform, dude.
I already did my job.
And I'm doing mine.
Right, to follow the orders of the governor, but you guys haven't done.
You guys are good.
You guys are facilitating something. The governor set an order to slow down the influx of illegal immigrants. You guys aren't doing that. Where's your pride in following orders, man? Come on, man. You're wearing a uniform to save and represent the state of Texas, not Border Patrol. Have some pride, gentlemen. The governor spoke. You need to follow those orders.
Thank you.
That's what we do.
Sad. Absolutely terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, it's sad, but I'm not. Like I said, I'm not gonna really. I'm just not gonna jump on a private, a lower-ranking enlisted man for, not obeying orders that do not appear to be patently illegal. But like I said, the field-grade officers ought to know better. Talk about major on up. Equivalent.
Everyone should know better, Sarge. You swear an oath.
They ought to understand that this is unconstitutional. And remember, they take a different oath than the enlisted personnel do. They don't take an oath to obey the orders of those appointed over them. They take an order to obey, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States without reservation or mental hesitation. They take a different oath for that very reason, to exercise that sort of judgment.
Well, Sarge, I can't make excuses for people that, come on, these are intelligent men and women. They put on a uniform. You have a responsibility when you put that uniform on. You have a responsibility to know what you're doing and understand the Constitution. And if you don't know, then you ask. And if you're just doing it for a paycheck, if you're going to sell your soul to the devil for a paycheck, then you're no better than anyone or the devil himself. You have to take responsibility. We have to take accountability, Sarge.
Understand that for sure, Joe, because one other thing about that is, too, every individual, whether they're transgender, they want to be a cat, whatever they are, if they want to go into the military, they should have the know-of-all that it is a exclusive, completely, not even arguable, volunteer position to defend this country. That's number one, first and foremost, and I don't care if you want to go get a sex change, whatever, if that's your agenda and you put that before the first one you're supposed to believe and be signing up for, you don't need to be there. And they should remove
There's constant appeasement. I was arguing with a friend tonight on the phone, actually, before I tuned into the Statesman show. He's a pastor of a church, and we were discussing rules and laws that we have. And there's a certain situation that I was talking about, and he's like, "Well, we have to have laws. We got to have this." And I said, "No, that's tyranny." I said, and that's the problem. We've got too many codes and statutes and policies. And he goes, "Well, the people decided they wanted that law. Like a a neighborhood association or something like that. No. If one person says no, then it's null and void. That's called a republic. Who makes these decisions? What's good for me or what's good for our neighborhood? Nobody can make that decision. Only I can. And well, I don't want my kids growing up around that. I don't want this. Well, you're going to put chemicals in the air. Silly excuses. Well, you're not going to stop at that stop sign, so we got to put cameras up. No. There's called accountability, individual responsibility with freedom. I mean, oh man, people are so brainwashed.
I have seen it now, and I talked to my buddy. Two of us went down and had a little disagreement with some people at the courthouse down here, and I said, I'm going to tell you what. I said, if you don't ever remember anything you heard come out of my mouth, I said, I want you people to stop and think about one thing. Whenever this started, this bullshit, everything going south, up, back, whatever, I said, when you become the bad guy, I'm the bad guy because I'm a American terrorist. I'm American born. Now, and Sharky even said before, now he can relate, or we should be able to relate to how they felt being white and a target. Now, but the domestic terrorist shit is absolutely benign bullshit. It drives me nuts to hear people in Congress, the people, the women, it's mainly the women. I don't understand it. They have got hell-bent on saying the domestic terrorism, and they don't even know what domestic terrorism is. They have no clue.
That came with the Bin Laden fear, the boogeyman underneath your bed. Terrorist. Everybody, terror. We need the government. Help. No, I used to say all the time. There's no boogeyman under your bed. There's no Al-Qaeda. There's no Al-Qaeda, a computer program. There's no such thing. There's no such thing, man. Yes, there's people over in the Middle East countries that hate us. If I bombed and killed your entire family and all your relatives and all your friends, wouldn't you hate us too? Come on, think about it.
Obama started talking about ISIS, and I kept hearing about ISIS. I started looking into this and where the funding came for them. How about
yeah?
Then now you never. That's our biggest enemy. But now that you want to talk about, let's talk about Israel. Let's talk about Israel because ISIS has a definitive meaning. The Israeli Secret Intelligence Service is ISIS.
Yeah, but there is extremists over there, though. I just want to make sure everybody gets that clear. There are extremists that hate us, and they do it in the name of religion. There always has been, and there always will be.
Yeah, you won't get rid of that. That's just. But regardless, why? You got a double standard in government, and I don't understand when we elect people, they have forgot that they work for us. That's gone completely to the side.
Well, JFK said it best. We're opposed to secret societies, secret oaths. We're opposed to these things. No, that's not what America is about. America is about transparency. It's about individual glory, freedom, creativity.
Every single individual that brings that to the forefront of conversation today, 20, 40 years ago, not as bad back then, but you do it now, you're anti-Semitic, and you will be deplatformed, defunded, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
You will be the bad guy. You're the bad guy now because you don't want secret society and all this bullshit, And people are going to realize what's happening because they hit the snooze. I call it the snooze alarm, the super snooze, because it's going to be too late for a lot of people.
Well, bite your tongue and don't be offended. I always like when people offend me. You can say what you want. You're not going to offend me, man. Just tell the truth. You're too direct. No, I want you to be direct. I don't want you to hide around the bush. I don't want you to keep things from me. Just be proud of who you are. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing.
No, everybody, Mike thinks I have to go off on the Jewish thing or whatever, but the more I think about it, I started reading into some more stuff about Trump. In Texas, he signed the National Day of Prayer, which is a big deal after, I think, the one shooting or disaster, whichever it was. I can't remember. But he designated a Sunday as a designated day of prayer. Now, the Bible, if you're a true Christian, and I'm not talking about the ones that are Zionist. I'm talking about someone that believes in God, morals, and just a straight-up decent person. Saturday is the because, damn it, Sabbath.
It's a Sabbath, yeah.
Sunday, the Catholic Church made it a point to take what the Bible said, changed it to Sunday. That's supposed to be, God rested with Adam and Eve, with his family, on the Sabbath.
but that's, I know, but that's okay. That's fine,
What you gonna say here? What you gonna say? This is getting real bad, real heavy, and it's gonna be real prominent because they wanted to change everything to Sundays is your day for church and everything like that. Because of that, you are now a pagan in the eyes of God because you are worshiping on the day other than what he said. Trump signs a piece of paper saying that. It makes it a mandatory thing in Texas. Everybody agrees with it, so they go with it. Now you are looked at upon as some doing the wrong. You're doing a pagan thing.
Well, we do have a National Day of Prayer in this country, and there's nothing wrong with National Day of Prayer and healing. This country, we have to believe in our higher power of God. We're one nation under God.
Everything changed to Sunday. Everything was Sunday.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I get that. Sunday, And there's a reason for it. There's one reason for it. Yeah, sun worship Sunday. We know December 25th is the farthest away from the sun, so there's Baal worship. Yeah, I got all that, but but I don't want to concentrate on those types of things though, because I don't want to be held down into stereotyping against one group of people. Saying that they're the enemy, because that's not true. Because they're all there's so many different people out there that are the enemy of freedom, and many people are evil. You know what I mean?
I bring up all the time the Noahide laws. Do you realize that the President of the United States signs that and has signed that? It just hasn't been put in full implication and pushed yet. Now, when the Noahide law,
that's all for the end times when the Antichrist takes over. And prophetic ends.
No, that's where you have the Catholic Church has joined with the rabbis, and they have put together the snake. They have put together this. Now, the Judaism and the Noahide laws are going to be that they're already signed into. That's what our law is. Look it up. 100%.
Yeah, but those are not going to be pushed upon. We have to understand, those are not going to be pushed upon the people until we lose our freedom. Yeah, but they can't do anything to us about it. Let them say what they want. They can call me a pagan. Call me an Antichrist. I don't care.
They can. If they really wanted to get hell-bent and turn that shit around and come after you right now, they could do it because they are the ones sitting in the chair.
They already are. They already are. But again, I don't want to.
They know they got guns.
I understand that. That's why we need to concentrate on freedom. That's why we need to concentrate on freedom. I don't want to concentrate on the country, on the state of Israel. Israel can't do anything to us over there. We have to concentrate on what's going on in our own backyard and our own politics over here. I agree. We're sending too much foreign aid over there. But I don't think it's not. Hang on. There's not one group of people though. If we get rid of them, then the world's going to fall into peace. I mean, that's just not going to happen.
I'm not one group of people. I'm not specifically saying the Jews. I'm talking about people that are going to be just like Catholics and regular Protestant Christians. Look how many of them there are. Now, you have the Zionist Christians that are going to fall right under the wing of these people because they're going to bend. They're going to take their bullshit and they're going to listen to it. And if you don't,
listen, Satan is very clever. Satan is very clever, and twisting the words of the Bible and twisting the traditions and beliefs of man is very detrimental to the human race. Yes, and we have to be careful. And the battle between good and evil is consistently. That's why freedom is so very important, and that's why this country is so very important, because we are the last country on earth that has freedom. And we lose this freedom, we're screwed.
That is the only thing right there. Our freedom. And if we lose our freedom of speech, the guns are coming. We already know they're coming from the guns. We talk to the people directly, you and I, and the show.
They already got them. Yeah, they already got them.
And you see the agenda. All these shootings, these school shootings, are all bullshit. This is all staged to try and get more legislation pushed through so they can say.
How many of you out there open carry? Let me ask you a question. How many of you out there open carry 24/7?
I do.
Does anyone out there open carry 24/7?
If you don't,
I mean,
Ohio just adopted that. So you had to have your concealed carry.
Right.
But that's a good thing, I think.
Well, I'm just curious because I want to know what kind of looks you get and how the reaction is of people when they see you open carry.
But you know what? I've also had people say, hey, I appreciate that because I can't shoot a gun, they'll say, but I appreciate the fact. I said, you know what? I said, I like that. And I said, you know what? Here's what I like to tell people. When you go to Texas, if you go into Texas back and say, 30 years ago, bank robberies, that's not the bank robbery capital of the world for one reason. Because probably 9 out of the 10 guys standing in line to cash their checks or do some transaction have a gun on their hip.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even I wouldn't entertain a conversation about it. I would walk away because you know what? Talking about, I don't want to be, listen, I don't want to single it out. I don't want it to be, I just want it to be an everyday part of our life in America like it used to be. I don't want someone special who's walking around saying, wow, thanks, buddy. No, everyone should do it. Everybody should be that person, and that's the way it should be, freedom. If you want to express your freedom that way, it's your right to.
Or mine don't shoot out fireworks and have a big sign broadcast. If it pokes out and somebody sees it and they say something, absolutely I'm carrying.
Yeah, well, you have to open in North Carolina. You have to. It's a law. You have to open carry. Actually, you can't conceal. If you conceal it, then you're breaking the law. That's the law, unless you have a concealed carry permit. So
right.
In North Carolina, so it's different, in most states. Now, if you go to another state, where you have only concealed carry, then you can't open carry, which I think is absolutely asinine. You got to hide. You're told to hide your pistol. That makes no sense for safety reasons.
The clip, and then the clip's got to be in the trunk. The gun's got to be in the glove box. Glove box got to be. There's a map they got where the adjoining states who can carry.
But one
through
thing
what
is
state.
for certain, though. But one thing, hang on. But one thing is for certain, though. Irresponsibility and accountability, people not storing them properly, children getting a hold of them and killing each other with them. That is the fault of the American people, and that is wrong. And I believe there should be regulation and some sort of individual law or something. Up to the communities, that is ordinances where you should be responsible to and how you. Let me try to rewind here. How we get around this is education. If we teach the young and youth at a young age, they grow up around this stuff. It's like using a chainsaw. It's like using a hammer. And you're not afraid of it, right? Because it's a part of your home. But it can still kill you.
In Russia, they got kids that are 7, 8 years old. They're breaking down an AK right there in school, in classroom, and they can put together and take apart an AK-47 better than
I don't know about
guns.
7 years old walking around with an AR-15. I don't know about that one.
They have awareness of it. They're stones. Don't mess with it. But the thing is, our youth is lost. We've lost 2 generations of kids.
Well, we don't have responsibility in our youth to have them doing. That's why I said education is key. There should be some sort of hunting class in all schools. There should be some gun ownership responsibility class as a requirement as a curriculum. This way here, the fear, because fear causes what? Accidents. Fear causes laziness. Fear causes hesitation, and hesitation causes your worst fears to come true. So you try to. Education is always the winner. It's always can bring great things. When you're told about something and you learn about something and you're familiar about something and you're comfortable to talk about the mistakes that can happen then as a result of some of these accidents that happen, or mistakes that happen. You can't talk about a problem and put a Band-Aid on it because you know nothing about the problem. And that's the problems we're having today. Nobody really knows what the hell they're talking about.
This is going to be a spot through history into the future that people are going to look back and say, what in the hell were these people doing? Well, they won't understand the fact that the kids had their history taken away from them. All they can see is
okay. To be honest with you, I don't care about what people are going to say 200 years from now. I care about what's going to happen tomorrow and what's going to happen today. Because right now we're in trouble. Right now I don't see it tomorrow. Sarge, what do you think?
You don't know where your future's at if you don't know where you've been, where your history's from. You can't get
I know. How about the American Statesman? Sally, is she still out there listening, or she's had a long one here. She just did her show, and if anybody's missed her show, you need to go back and make sure you listen to it, and make sure you tune in next time, the American Statesman, when she's on Monday nights, and check out her show where she talks about similar issues, maybe in a different way than I do, but talks about the similar issues, and talks about our republic. you know, and these are shows that we all need to be supporting.
I just got an email from
hang on, Dave.
People have to. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Anyway, people need to understand this has all been planned. They've been working on this plan for the better part of 100 years, and we've been stupid watching them do it. We've been brainwashed into thinking, well, everybody has the right to not to be a communist. You want to be a communist in America? Come on over. I mean, it's the stupidity how we let them in the door. We said, go ahead, do what you want to do, and now we're literally letting them invade our country, and we're all standing here watching. So there's something seriously wrong when we're supposed to stand here and watch them invade and take our country while it's defenseless. We're standing here looking stupid and defenseless, and our military is being used to change diapers. There could be nothing more disgusting. We have a military for our national defense, but we won't defend ourselves. It's just there's something insane. Well, of course, we
but
defend
we can
the borders
defend
of
Ukraine,
others.
though. I mean, that's really important.
Yeah, I know.
To do.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we'll defend you. Yeah, we'll protect Ukraine, defend them. We'll spend. See, right now we have no military at all. We have no resources at all. We've been totally wiped out. We are about as defenseless as it gets to this invasion that's coming in. And China is, I'm sure, well equipped. As I recall, back when Trump was in office, he shut down the Long Beach, China stuff that was going on because that was Clinton who gave a military base over to China, a 99-year lease or something stupid like that. I believe Trump shut that one down. And then Trump also caught China importing a bunch of arms in here. They were all disassembled, but they were bringing the arms in here. We've literally opened the door to the CCP to come in and set up base. We've given them all the land. We've given them the food supply. We've let them kill us with both COVID, the COVID jab, and with, which, by the way, the CCP is the one who controls that vaccine. It's not the FDA. It's not Pfizer. It's none of them. The CCP that actually owns and controls the COVID jab. So a bioweapon, they're coming in, they're just killing us peacefully. We're all dropping like flies, and we're standing here defenseless while they bring in
why
the
are
rest
they
of the
so
force.
hell-bent on giving you the test? You know, they always want to test you. Why is that?
They want you to think you're sick so they can plug you in with the vaccine if they got their money involved in. And
but what's in the test? What's in the test? Is there anything in the test that can harm you?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that PCR test. It was all just, to me, that was just a scare tactic to say you need to be tested for it so they could have an excuse to give you the jab kind of thing. Based on the guy who initially came up with that PCR test or whatever that stuff was, I don't think that was it. It was always about the jab. And Peter McCollum, the doctor, he's openly talking more and more about how this was in fact an attack on us. He's really being much more open about it, which is great. And he's also, believe it or not, starting to talk about the other vaccines, how we've been destroying ourselves from within for so long. 70 vaccines for a child, give me a break, and all the autism, all the other stuff, all the other side effects. They're killing us from inside. No, it's disgusting. And the CCP controls Smithfield Foods. Does anybody think, I don't know about where you guys are at, but here in Florida, I go into the grocery store and I see nothing but Smithfield meats and all sorts of garbage. It's like they have a line right to us there. I mean, it's just amazing. We're just, well, come on in and kill us while we...
If you don't mind me asking, what section of Florida are you from? What section area?
Oh, I was born and raised in Orlando. I just recently moved up to the Panhandle area a couple of years ago, but a lifelong resident of Mickey's World, where I claim it, I've said for years it was the largest rat trap in the world.
So, but you're in the Panhandle area now, right?
Correct.
Well, I'm just saying, if there's any demonstrations down in that way, that's what I was saying, then I'll put the word out to you if you're, and to invite you. That's what I'm saying. Anything, down in the Florida area and those vicinities. That's what I was saying,
Yeah, now, when it comes, you were talking, just a little bit, you were talking about the permitting and stuff like that. Now, I was involved in many sign wavings and stuff like that, and there was, only if there was some major gathering, I don't know how many people asked to be or whatever else, was there ever a permit. But if we wanted to do a sign waving of 50 people or whatever it was, and sign waving some people don't really truly appreciate, but a sign waving at a busy intersection during rush hour traffic can be one of the best ways to get information to people who are totally clueless. And you'd be surprised how many will actually say, oh, I didn't know that. Oh.
Really?
And, oh, yeah, it's like on the back of my vehicle, on the back windshield. Right now, today, I have the message, I love my country, it's my government I'm afraid of, say a prayer for America. And I've had people literally stop and tell me that they took pictures of it and post it on Facebook.
Yeah,
so
bumper stickers, man.
But it starts a conversation. The biggest part is it starts a conversation, when people start thinking about stuff. And as I've told many people, that if I go out there and I talk to people, and I don't talk about stupid political parties because they're both corrupt and they're both screwed up, and one maybe more than the other, but whatever. So I talk about the issues. I talk about the subject.
Yep.
The majority of people are on the same side. The majority of real Americans are on the same side of the issues once you put the stupid political parties out of the way.
The bumper sticker I got the most reaction
from.
The bumper sticker I got the most reaction from over all the years was the 9/11 is an inside job.
Oh, yeah. Yep. 9/11.
I got that one. Most
9/11
reaction.
was such a warning. Yep.
Hey, some of these crazy bastards today would run right into the ass into your car if they seen that, as nuts as they are.
How many middle fingers I've gotten? You're an asshole. You're an idiot. Are you a retard? What's wrong with you? Go to hell, asshole. I've gotten all those. You know.
Fort Hood getting changed.
Fort Benning didn't change. All of them are getting changed. Their names are Confederate generals. They're getting changed. Every one of them.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. I can't even say the guy's name that they renamed it after.
No, actually, the guy they named it after is four-star general named Cavazos. And if you look at Cavazos' history, there is no doubt he is a worthy soldier. I mean, he's got two distinguished service crosses. He's got the Silver Star with Cluster. He's got 4 Purple Hearts. There's no doubt about it. He was a warrior and an esteemed soldier. Here's the problem. They need to name something else for him, not remove the name that already exists, especially under this kind of pressure.
It's exactly right, Sarge. They don't need to change ones that already exist. They need to give these guys ones that are needed.
Right.
Absolutely. 100%.
You know, we don't know.
Because the guy they're naming it for is a great soldier. Like I said, he's Hispanic. His name is Cavazos, but his record shows he had the right stuff. Same thing with General Moore. They're renaming Fort Benning to Fort Moore. Fort Moore is one of the greatest tactical battlefield commanders this country's ever produced. Ever. He was the guy that held out Atlantic Zone X-ray during the Yardrang battle fight. That's the We Were Soldiers guy.
Let me ask you guys' opinion on this. Okay, real quick. Maybe you got different opinions. I don't know. This happened to me just recently. I got a letter in the mail from my code enforcement. Okay, code enforcement. This is what they say. It says notice of violation. Okay, it says the Rockingham County Code Enforcement Division has received a complaint about your property located at blah, 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 blah. An inspection of the property, which they must have inspected without me knowing, provides evidence that you are in violation of the following Rockingham County Unified Development Ordinance and or Rockingham County Solid Waste Ordinance. It says an inspection of the property provides evidence that you are in violation of the following: burning solid waste, improperly managed solid waste. It says currently this letter serves as legal notice that you are in violation of the ordinance. Please be advised that under Chapter 2, zoning article, blah, 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 civil penalties, citations, and subsequent fines may be served against you. To avoid any legal action taken against you by the county, please have the violations removed within 15 days and contact this office within 48 hours after receiving this notice. So I have a burn pile, obviously. You know, I'm a landscaper, everybody. So I have a burn pile. And, and I burn stuff. And one of my neighbors recently complained to me. He said he was going to call the county on me, so I knew this was coming, but I didn't care because, it was windy out, and I was burning, and there was a couple pieces of paper that landed in his yard. Literally, tiny little pieces of paper, and he came pounding on my door. Joe, I'm going to call the county on you, and I said, just a couple pieces of paper, man, calm the hell down. It's windy, 60 miles an hour wind. I said, I'll pick them up. This guy's a very anal, retentive person. I had a tree fall down during an ice storm. It was like literally, I measured it even, 6.5 inches on his property line, and he had me clean up the whole tree, because he was going to complain, I mean, this is one of those people that is an asshole. So.
Well, just so you know, if you're in Florida, if there's a hurricane or whatever kind of storm, if you're in Florida, your neighbor's tree falls onto your property, it's your responsibility. Not the neighbor, not their tree.
Wow.
They're not responsible. If it's on your property.
Wow.
And
meanwhile, Meanwhile, though, my garage gets broken into, right, when I'm away for a weekend, and nobody sees anything. But I light up a little burn file, and they're all peeking their heads out, you know?
What if an illegal alien falls on your property? Is it still your responsibility to clean it up?
I don't know. But what do you guys think about that? There's code enforcement. Now, I got into an argument with a couple of my friends over it. I got into arguments. They said, well, it's a good thing. You shouldn't be doing that. You probably could be burning chemicals, you know, and blah, blah, blah. It's a good thing. And I got into a big argument.
I got an upside-down flag about 8 foot by 10 foot on the back side of my house. You want to think about your letter, Joe? Let me read you the one I got. Order to comply. Under the provisions of the City Akron of Building Code, Section 193, blah, blah, you shall be provided at all times with the proper gutters and drain to a storm sewer or street gutter. In case no shall water from roof be allowed to flow upon a sidewalk or any adjacent property. First of all, I don't have an adjacent property. I'm right next to what the Everglades is in Florida. It's called the Wilbeth Road Wetlands Project here, which is a complete bullshit mess up by the city and their civil engineers because they tried to fix a sewer line and they screwed up and they rose the water table 12 feet. So now I am adjacent to my basement ceiling being completely as high. The water is as high as my basement ceiling is. So, my foundation's screwed. So my neighbor's pissed off because I play rock and roll. I play the drums. I got a dog that weighs 165 pounds. It doesn't do any doo-doo or anything in anybody else's yard but my own. I cleaned it up. I got 3 lots. 2 of them are empty that I bought. But because I don't have rain gutters on my new steel garage, that all the rain runs into a wetlands project anyway, I get a notice to comply. Well, I'm going over there tomorrow morning. I'm going to knock on his door. We're going to comply, all right. If he's got a problem.
Well, don't go. Yeah, well, you got to be careful, though. Don't be attacking your neighbor, you know.
If he's new to the neighborhood, he's going to get a wake-up call. But I can't believe you just read that letter. I'm thinking, I just got one in the mail today. I was like, what in the hell? Because I had just put up the steel building. I didn't have time to put the gutters on it yet.
But my point, though, hang on. My point is, well, now you got this point, too, is we have people in our community that are still concerned about what their next-door neighbor's doing, but not their government.
They're the ones who will call the red shit up there, call and spy on you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't trust my neighbors, and that's sad. That's sad.
Kids, and they'll make up shit just because they want to be the important. They got to be sneaky. Well, I'll show you.
I want my grass to look like his grass. Can you make that happen? How many times? Come on. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. But that's America. I mean, why? How many times I look at my landscaper, I pull up, I've had people actually tell me that. I want my lawn to look like my neighbor's. I mean, it's insane questions I would get. Idiocy. I mean, all this is going on in America, and that's what you're worried about? I mean, come on.
Yep.
We need help. We need help.
I know what they're upset about because I got an upside-down American flag. And at first, I had the other neighbor across that he could see.
Well, why do you do this, Sarge? What do you think about that as an upside-down American, or anybody upside-down American flag? I mean, it's his right to express himself, but I always taught a flag you don't disrespect.
I don't know if it's really intended to be disrespect if someone is doing it as a First Amendment sentiment of how they feel on it.
In distress.
About state of the country. The thing that is, the upside-down flag is supposed to be a distress signal for actual distress when you need assistance.
Right.
So, for me, I wouldn't do it that way. I would find another way to express my discontent other than to fly the flag upside down. Because I used to be a member of a color guard, not the colored guard, but the color guard, both in the National Guard, in the Army, and in high school ROTC. So I take, displaying the colors properly very seriously.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. That's kind of hurtful. I mean, which you have a right to, though. But I'm just saying. But sometimes people do take offense to that.
Yeah, but if it's your property, it's your property. So I believe in property rights first.
I guess. You're right.
If I ever see somebody let a flag
rights come first, I mean, but I wish people would show respect for the flag because it is an abstract expression of something that we're all supposed to be able to coalesce around.
Hey, you know what I just seen today? DeSantis had a speech talking about some more stuff that he had done, and a couple of people in the chat while I was watching it live, they brought up the fact that the flags behind him had no gold fringe on them. None of them. And
well, sometimes they got those. Yeah.
Well, there's kinds of stuff that, certain flags, because apparently when old Joe Biden was inaugurated, his flag that they were using was apparently folded as a burial flag, as a funeral procession.
Yeah, symbols are very important. I'm just wondering if that's just laziness that they don't know, or if it's done on purpose.
To the gold trim, though, the gold around the flag, that's a different meaning to the flag.
Yes.
I have to go look at the exact on it, but it is a very specific thing.
Admiralty, military admiralty.
Yeah.
It's something to do with the hand on the Bible was upside down. When Biden did that too, or it was either facing the wrong way.
I try to stay away from those arguments, about stuff like that. That's the only reason why I brought it about Tave's thing. I mean, which is like you said, Sarge, it's his property. Do whatever you want on your property, But I try to stay away from those types of squabbles because, I don't know. It's just my opinion. I just think that bogs us down into arguments or disagreements that really we should not do. We should be unified, about our country.
I'm not flying no rainbow flag. That's what to worry about.
well, the day when I see something in the Constitution about but in common law of the Constitution about admiralty flags making a difference in the nature of a court, then I'll be worried about it. In the meantime, as far as I'm concerned, it's just a decorative preference.
Right.
Yeah.
What flag prevails true. Well, you want to get into the flags. I talk about the independence and how them guys down there, they are flying I think it was a 6x10 flag, and it was actually shot off the mast by the Israeli jets. And then they came back around, and they took the bigger flag up and got it going, and them guys still attacked that boat, and they get a pass. That burns my ass more than
I know. I agree with you. It's just that, with the knowledge that you have, Tave, and the involvement you have, I just think that, if that's, that way you want to express yourself on your property, that's fine. I was just bringing up just another version of what, thinking of, I just don't like it, like when football players did that especially, they were kneeling down for the flag. I just think that was disrespectful, and dead wrong,
Well, I just burned the flag that was worn and tore up and messed up and all that. And besides, it was my property, and I replaced it with another one. But the point of the matter is it your property if you burn it? It better be your property if you burn it. You better not try to burn mine on some public building somewhere.
Well, closing thoughts tonight, everybody. Closing thoughts. I know we got a little bit of time, but I know we've been at it here for a while, guys, and some of us been blog talking now since 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, the reason I burned that flag, by the way, is because I didn't want to throw it in the garbage. I want to give it a respectful disposal.
That's how it should be done. Start 2%.
Yeah. Well, Tave, you go first. Closing thoughts to tonight's show, or whatever. I don't know if you were on the other show or not, but Sally show, the Statesman, American Statesman. But closing thoughts.
We know the Title 42 came to an end, and all the news channels I can hear them broadcasting that there's no problem, the numbers aren't as bad. Well, they're lying to you again, people. I mean, if you look at that stuff, and as we talk tonight, the actual watering down, the infiltration of this country has gone to such an extreme that the people actually are starting, I think now they're not getting pissed off about it and should be raising hell and ready to fight. They're almost like it's supposed to be acceptable. They're going to deal with it. And if we're going to be that way, I want the hell out of here. I want to go find somewhere people are going to stand up and fight what they believe in. And these kids need to be taught that. And it's where it's got to start at. We got to save these kids, get this country straightened around somehow or another, or a bunch of us got to leave and find somewhere to go do it. I hate to leave America, but I love America, but I hate to leave it.
Yeah, I was thinking real quick. I was thinking about the same thing. If this does collapse, is there any islands maybe in the Pacific, uncharted islands maybe, or someplace, that maybe we can go to?
Isle of Man, they got the big motorcycle races. I'm in. Let's go. $200 buddy.
I mean, what the heck, what do you do? I just don't. Oh, real quick, also, I forgot that. I think, man, my mind's just been going blank today. Anybody watch before I get you guys closing thoughts, anybody watch the CNN town hall with Trump? Anybody watch that one?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
What'd you think?
Oh, man, I tell you, man, it's almost pathetic that they sent that little reporterette up against a grown man. And she was determined to inject her viewpoint into it rather than let Republican voters see what the leading Republican presidential candidate had to say about issues. She decided to inject every single Democrat talking point first and foremost over what the Republican voters, the people who would be voting in the Republican primary, would want to hear about what their candidate had to say. And as a result of what she did, she got her hat handed to her. He ate her lunch. He made her look like the little silly, vapid girl that she is.
Yeah.
True. So true.
He said
the only bad
woman up here telling us what she thinks what the Democrat Party talking points ought to be, rather than trying to elicit information from the Republican candidate. She's not running for president in the Republican primary. He is. Her job should be to elicit information that will be of interest to the general public and the voters in the primary, and it was anything but that. She thought it was going to be an opportunity for her to showcase how acute her Trump derangement syndrome was.
She could be the next Speaker of the House for the Democrats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, closing thoughts, Sally?
Well, the Trump town hall was good. The only bad part is he would say that we have stupid people running the government, and it's not stupid, it's evil. He needs to understand these people are intentionally doing this. They're not stupid, they're evil. So he needs to get that one out there. But it was good, and she was showing her true colors. She was out there yapping about other stuff. But more importantly is, as we talked about in the earlier show, people have got to get engaged. We've got to defend. We cannot comply. We've got to defend. It's dear Lord, help us, and please say a prayer for America. We need it.
Amen. Amen. Sarge, one more thing there. I know you're fired up.
Yeah, one more thing. It was a thing of beauty to watch Donald Trump airily dismissing that airhead on that CNN town hall. But I got to agree with Sally. These people are not just stupid. Well, many of them are stupid and incompetent. But first and foremost, they are diabolical. They are probably more likely than not evil because they believe in an evil belief system that is the most murderous philosophy in the history of mankind. In 80 short years, it had a body count of 125 dead million human beings across the planet. I think that is a record unequaled by any other philosophy in the history of the world. And for God, anybody who believes in that or has any inkling that that is true is worthy of dismissal as being worthy of any elective office in the United States.
You're absolutely right. And, well, I'll play our ending tonight, I guess. Usually I let Sarge pick it, but maybe Tave tomorrow night you can pick it, or American Statesman maybe if she's on tomorrow night. I don't know. Usually I say, hey, what do you want me to play at the end here just to, wrap it up? But tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Restoring Our Republic. Hopefully everybody can join us again. I know we'll have other people that usually do come on. And I'll call the National Guard and put them on the spot, man. And that's what we got to do. So God bless our republic.
Presentation, and you have allowed the people
what did they do with this power? As a gift, illustrated in his great work, The Greatest Story Never Told. Yes, if you want to see the dangers that are facing the world today, just watch this film. One can see the actual facts.